Tonight at 6, looking for some fun winter activities on campus? Hillel at Kent State is hosting an event tonight. We have the details.
A women's panel was hosted on Kent's campus in response to Iranian protests. What were the topics they discussed and the importance of the event?
Biden hosted the first state visit of his presidency today. What he and French President Macron discussed.
And Pepsi is encouraging its fans to try a new way to enjoy its beverage. All these stories and more as your Thursday edition of TV2 News starts right now.
This is TV2 News.
Good Thursday evening, Portage County, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Nathan Welsh.
And I'm Josh Aponte.
Tonight, Hillel is hosting a Winterfest in partnership with undergraduate student government.
That's right. This is the first time Hillel at Kent State received funding from USG to have an event for the community.
It means a lot to us. We have a winter event every year, but we've never received a grant or funding for it. This is our first ever time and receiving any kind of grant or funding, so we're very appreciative of it. And it's going to help us make our winter.
The event will be featuring free food, games, a candy bar, and the first 50 attendees received a t-shirt.
Raffles and games will start at 6:30, and you could have a chance to win a Meta Quest 2 headset and many other prizes. It's not the first time that Hillel organized a big event for the whole Kent State community.
Just have to, keep it quiet until it's finalized because we're not sure dates, everything that's happening, but we are planning another major event for the school.
Hillel has many more events in mind for the Kent State community and are working on events for next semester.
However, if you don't want to wait until next semester, you are still on time to go and be a part of Winterfest.
Kent State ended its Giving Tuesday campaign today. This is the 8th year that the month-long celebration took place, collecting a total amount of $3.6 million. Kent added a special touch by collecting donations every Tuesday of November, while also adding incentives like Triple Your Gift Tuesday. Last year, the campaign was able to receive a record-breaking $7.71 million.
FAB is hosting movie trivia tonight in Tahini at the Rathskeller and the lower level of the Student Center at 7 p.m. The event is limited to the first 200 people and will be one round of 75 questions. The questions will consist of general popular movie trivia and will have three prizes for first, second, and third place winners. Prizes including a mini projector, a scratch-off movie poster, and a popcorn maker.
The Kent International Student Council is hosting a trivia night. The ISC Instagram says, quote, "Tease your brain and enjoy pizza with us." The event will introduce new ISC members and will play a round of Jeopardy! The trivia questions will range from tourism attractions to art and languages. The event takes place Friday, December 6th from 6 to 8 p.m.
The Kent State University LGBTQ Center will be holding a candlelight vigil in support of the victims from the tragedy at Club Q. The candlelight vigil will take place tomorrow, December 2nd, from 5 to 6 p.m. at Risman Plaza. All are welcome, and the LGBTQ Center encourages all to attend if they are able to. This is the second event the LGBTQ Center is holding on campus as a response to the tragedy in Colorado Springs.
Now, Nathan, it was very chilly on my way to Kent today.
That's right, Josh. Now, let's take a look at the weather going on right now in Portage County. We have currently in Kent, it is 29, though it feels like 26. And with that dew point at 17 degrees, that gives us a humidity of 60%. We have winds from the southwest at 3 miles an hour, and we have visibility out to 10 miles. And as we look into tonight, we're going to see just some clear skies, temperatures around the high 20s until finally those clouds are going to roll in by tomorrow morning.
And now for tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a little bit more warmer than today at 48 degrees. It's going to be partly cloudy, a mix of clouds and sun in the morning, followed by those cloudy skies in the afternoon and the evening. And there is a chance of occasional showers late at night.
And that is all for now, but stay tuned to see what weather we will see later this week coming up. And the consultants hired to help facilitate the potential county takeover of the Portage County Airport have been meeting with airport officials and county commissioners this week. They will talk to community representatives about their views of the airport and how they see it fitting into the county's long-term vision. After the visit, the consultancy firm is expected to have a report analyzing a plan for the takeover by spring of 2023.
Governor Mike DeWine has announced his support of an Ohio Senate bill that would overhaul the Ohio Department of Education. Senate Bill 178 would give the governor's office more oversight over education. The department would have two divisions, one for primary and secondary education and one for workforce training. If passed, this bill would rename the agency to the Department of Education and Workforce.
Governor Mike DeWine announced on his social media the new memorial honoring the victims and survivors of the COVID-19 pandemic. The mixed media sculpture was designed and created by an Ohio artist, Kevin Lyles, and is now displayed at the COVID-19 Pandemic Memorial Grove at the Great Seal State Park in Chillicothe. The grove was built to serve as a place of solace and peace for those who lost loved ones during the pandemic.
The Ohio House has approved a bill that would make reporting fake or misleading information when calling 911 a felony. House Bill 462 would make it a third-degree felony to use a phone, computer, radio, or any other communications device to report a fake emergency. The offense could result in a fine up to $10,000 and a second-degree offense up to $15,000.
Licenses may become obsolete now that airports and military compounds are requiring what is called a real ID. In order to get a real ID from a BMV, the government is expecting specific information to meet its requirements. The ID will have the following on it, quote, full legal name, date of birth, legal presence in the U.S., social security number, and Ohio address, end quote. If you were intending on donating blood, the FDA has added more screening for potential donors. What does it mean for the future of blood donations?
The survivors of a mass shooting are taking legal action on the case, what they are asking for, and what agencies will encounter the lawsuit.
The College of Public Health at Kent State University prepares students for careers in some of today's most exciting health fields. Public health professionals impact lives by monitoring clinical trials, advocating for mental health, supporting active lifestyles, and more. The College of Public Health also offers open courses for any major, including its most famous course, Zombie Outbreak. Public health students can even study abroad and are encouraged to join the Public Health Student Alliance. For more information, visit kent.edu/public health. Public health, solving our problems together.
Welcome back. A women's panel about the protests in Iran was hosted yesterday at 6 p.m. This event took place in the May 4th Reflections Gallery in Taylor Hall and was hosted by the Society of Global Cultures.
The panel was led by Dr. Meteb Terini and Fatima Kavusi and discussed what we can learn from the historic protests taking place across Iran and how does the denial of human rights in Iran impact us.
My country and my people, which is really important for me. With such a thing happening like in Iran for more than 2 months, it's still going on, I found it really crucial to come and speak up, to attract some attention to that part of the world, to those families, those who are getting impacted every day.
Officials say the current landscape of parts of Hawaii is helping to keep lava from flowing across a major highway. Wednesday, the fiery flow was reported over 3.5 miles from Saddle Road.
The highway runs east to west through the center of the island and is often used to travel between two parts of the Big Island, Kona and Hilo. The U.S. Geological Survey says the topography in the areas and the way the lava spreads are keeping it from reaching the road.
Now, with the way the weather has been, I'm curious to see what we have in store for next week.
Me too, Nathan. Let's take a look at our weather forecast. Alrighty, so now in Northeast Ohio, we are sitting around those 30s, right about freezing. We got 31 in Cleveland, 28 in Kent, and 27 in Mansfield. It's a little chilly down there in Mansfield.
Now, as we look across the rest of the state, we're seeing a bit higher temperatures as we go south, very typical, up to 34 in Cincinnati. Now, that's not really much warmer than it is here, but it is technically warmer. Now, as we look across into next week, we're going to see some temperatures around what we're seeing now. Nothing too warm, but also nothing freezing enough to allow any snow. Now, we might see the occasional flurries like we saw last night, but we're seeing mostly just some clouds and the occasional rain that they will be bringing as we look into that final week of classes. It's not going to be too wintry yet. No snow will fall, but it's going to be altogether pretty pleasant. I would pack your winter coat. Now, it looks like we have some more chilly fall weather ahead of us. Now, let's transition to your Health Minute.
In today's Health Minute, more on a new U.S. strategy to end the HIV and AIDS pandemic.
CNN's Mandy Gather has more on how far we've come in AIDS treatment and prevention.
Advances in treatments have led to fewer deaths from AIDS since the beginning of that epidemic, but this disease is still around.
For a lot of people, HIV is almost an invisible condition. But what we know is that, we still have over 30,000 new infections in the U.S. every single year.
Dr. Carlos Malvis-Tuto treats HIV and AIDS patients at Ohio State's Wexner Medical Center. He says awareness remains critical as many people are living with HIV and don't know it.
You can trace 40% of new infections to people who actually were unaware of their own diagnosis.
Malvis-Tuto says we now have tools to help prevent HIV infection in those who are at risk, and treatments are now available which allow for people who have the disease to live normal lives.
Even though we don't have a cure yet, as long as somebody is keeping up with their treatment, then they can manage it perfectly well.
However, work still needs to be done. Malvis-Tuto says we need to normalize testing and make sure all people are able to get HIV care.
If we don't ensure access, equal access for everyone with HIV, then we will not be able to end the pandemic.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The Food and Drug Association announced Wednesday that it is changing its blood donation policy away from blanket assessments towards individual risk-based donor screening. In a statement, the agency specifically mentioned risk-based screenings for HIV. The current policy requires men to wait 3 months after sexual contact with other men before they can donate blood.
And survivors of the fatal mass shooting at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde have filed a $27 billion class action lawsuit Tuesday against multiple law enforcement agencies in Texas, according to court documents. The lawsuit alleges the victims and survivors sustained emotional and psychological damages as a result of defendants' conduct and omissions. The Uvalde mass shooting was the second deadliest shooting on a K-12 school in the United States.
The Idaho State Police have clarified they believe the University of Idaho stabbing attack was indeed a targeted attack. The department cleared up a confusing statement, which the wording made it seem as if they didn't know if the attack was targeted or not. Authorities are still working to determine who is responsible. No suspect has been identified, and the murder weapon has not been found.
Senators are working morning, noon, and night to reach an agreement for us to act on this measure ASAP. The Senate cannot leave until we get the job done, and Democrats will keep working with Republicans to find a path forward that everyone can support.
A Senate bill has been sent to President Joe Biden to prevent rail strikes. Legislators, rail operators, and the unions have negotiated for improved worker benefits. However, President Biden is receiving negative feedback from many Democrats after not pushing for paid leave and are also blaming the Republicans for hindered progress. President Biden has promised this bill is a temporary solution for the strikes.
Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries is making history. His selection as minority leader marks a generational shift for the caucus after 20 years under the leadership of Nancy Pelosi. Jeffries will become the first Black American to lead a party in Congress. He became the caucus chair in 2019 and has long been known for his advocacy around affordable housing and criminal justice reform.
Leader Hakeem Jeffries and Whip Designate Catherine Clark and Chairman Designate Pete Aguilar. We're proud of all of them. They have leadership experience, and I wish them well.
President Biden is hosting his first state visit since taking office. French President Emmanuel Macron was welcomed this morning with an arrival ceremony where the two heads of state discussed the long-standing alliance between the U.S. and France. Biden will host a state dinner tonight. There were no state visits held for the first 2 years of Biden's presidency due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
We are pleased to see you choose to honor your usual commitments and your campaign promises to become involved once again in the world's biggest challenges, including the climate and health. It's a change. We were able to resist for a few years, and now we are making a joint effort once again.
The godmother of Prince William resigned from her role in the Buckingham Palace household on Wednesday. Lady Susan Hussey was dubbed the #1 head girl for the role she played in Queen Elizabeth's life. The palace announced that inexcusable comments were made, but didn't mention Hussey's name directly. And a World Cup referee makes history. Stay tuned for more on this accomplishment.
Could they stay hot against the 76ers at home last night?
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
Pioneering soccer referee Stephanie Frappart became the first woman to take charge of a major men's European club match.
Today, she is poised to make history again, becoming the first woman to referee a men's World Cup match. She's one of 6 female match officials in this World Cup.
Could you see a woman officiating the men's World Cup final?
I think everything can happen now.
Honestly, do you think?
Yeah, sure. There is a woman who are appointed in the Under-17 World Cup, so now everything is possible.
Now let's get ready to talk about everything else going on in the wide world of sports.
That's right, Josh. We're going to kick it over to Ryan Shanko for more sports news.
Hey guys, even though Thanksgiving is over, we still have a cornucopia of sports to dive into this weekend, so let's get right into it. Let's start with one of the biggest weekends of the college football season. It's championship weekend, so let's go over the matchups. On Friday, number 11 Utah and number 4 USC face off for the Pac-12 title in a rematch of one of the best games from this season. If USC wins, they will most likely punch their ticket to the college football playoffs, so this is a big one. Same goes for the Big Ten, which has number 2 Michigan pitted against Purdue for the conference crown. The SEC championship is number 14 LSU taking on number 1 Georgia, and in the Big 12, there is another game featuring a team looking to punch their ticket to the playoff as number 10 Kansas State takes on number 3 TCU. Then we have the ACC title between number 23 North Carolina and number 9 Clemson. And finally, there is the American Athletic Conference title game between number 18 Tulane and number 22 UCF, with the winner most likely earning a New Year's 6 bowl bid. So buckle up and don't miss a minute of the action. And now we're going to take you to Cleveland, downtown Cleveland. We're in the land. It's the Cavs and Sixers in a playoff preview. Cavs fans hope Darius Garland is playing like this in the playoffs. He's out there toying with his food before drilling the step back 3. And DG, someone needs to tell him Thanksgiving's over because he went back for seconds here. The acrobatic layup goes down and the Cavs go up by 32 points. Garland finished with 21 and 9 in this one. And it really seemed like the Cavs got whatever they wanted all night long. They win huge, 113-85. And tonight, Thursday Night Football features the Bills and Patriots in Foxborough. Mac Jones had one of his best games of the year in the Pats' Thanksgiving Day loss to Minnesota last Thursday, but he'll be looking to build on that momentum against a Bills team that's had its struggles defensively and will be without star pass rusher Von Miller. With that being said, I'm still going to take the Bills, but I'm thinking it's going to be a closer game than many people see. I'm thinking we'll see a shootout tonight, or at least the Thursday night equivalent of one. I think the Bills will win 30-27. And that's going to do it for me tonight with your TV2 Sports Report. Happy December, Portage County. Thanks for rocking with me, and have a wonderful weekend.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, but it's also time to start decorating. See what New York is lighting up.
The holiday season is officially here, and so is a major Christmas decoration in New York. The Rockefeller Christmas tree has officially been lit.
With the flip of a switch, all 50,000 LED lights illuminated this year's Christmas tree. This year's Norway spruce tree is about 90 years old, and it weighs 14 tons and traveled about 200 miles from Queensbury, New York.
In that moment, it gave me chills. I thought it was really exciting because it kind of brought the Christmas spirit.
I will be back next year. It was definitely beautiful.
And good news for people who wish eggnog had carbonation. Pepsi is pushing a new campaign for people to pour milk into their soda, with actress Lindsay Lohan serving as spokeswoman. Customers who want to take part in the fun are encouraged to post their experiences with the hashtag #PilkandCookies. There is online challenges as well, with cash prizes to be announced on Christmas Day.
All right, now, first question, how are we feeling about the Pilk?
Oh, actually,
I'm against Pilk.
This summer I tried Coke with milk, and it was actually pretty good. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I actually liked it.
I may have to try that.
So
I still might stick to the Nog, but
yeah,
I
maybe
don't know.
give
That
it a
might be
try.
good. That might be good.
I don't think I'm on the Pilk train, but I mean, if you said it was good, maybe I'll try it.
Maybe just once.
Maybe just once. Maybe just once.
Now, Christmas trees. How are you guys feeling? Are we set up with our trees at home yet? Or do we have artificial, real ones?
Oh, never artificial, Nathan. I mean, I know for me personally, cutting down that Christmas tree, it's a big part of getting into the Christmas spirit.
I agree.
Well, that is all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us.
For updates on all these stories and more, visit our website at kentwired.com.
And follow us on all of our social media at Kent Wired. I'm Ryan Shanko.
I'm Josh Aponte.
And I've been Nathan Welsh. Have a great night, Portage County.
This is Portage County's TV2, broadcasting from the campus of Kent State University, streaming online at kentwired.com.